What are we going to do about dinner tonight? You better be making it this time. Last time you were on a business trip, and you never were home to do any of the chores. Do you think it's a good time for you to stop trying to piss me off all the time?
Do you think you can stop talking to me like that? You've always been talking to me like that, and it's already made me more than unhappy with you.
Why should I? It's my right as the man of this house to be able to boss you around however I'd like.
Sure, but I'm telling you that I hate it, so would you stop? And also, when I'm around the house, I'll do my best to get any chores done for us. But recently, I've been very busy with work and haven't had much time to be home to take care of things. So I want you to show a little understanding with that.
Understanding? What are you talking about, Anna? Why would you want that from me when it's your fault that your work is busy?
What do you mean by that?
Your work and me have nothing to do with one another, right? You're my wife! And so, the only relation anything has with me is you doing your job here, in the house. But if you can't do that, would you rather us get divorced? You know dang well that if you were divorced by me, you'd be screwed!
You said the same thing yesterday, that you were filling out the paperwork, right? Were you being serious? Do you think it's okay to think of that even when you're not as upset with me?
I just want to let you know that I can have you thrown out of here whenever I please. And if it does happen, I want it to be quick for us. After all, a woman like you is barely of any use to me. So, if you continue to not get the housework done for me, then throwing you on the streets should be enough to teach you a lesson.
Even though I have a job of my own that pays about the same pay as you? And I'm working it just as much as you do. I've been getting most of the housework done, right? What I'm trying to say is that you don't even bother to do anything to help at the house like I do. Yet, even with you giving nothing to our relationship, you sit there whining and complaining about all the hard work I've done.
You call it complaining, but to me, it's trying to get you to do your job. After all, it's well known that all the housework needs to be done by the wife. So could you stop trying to blame me for doing what's right? But if you can't seem to get a handle on things, I'll just have to throw you away before you make me too embarrassed. Well, life would be a lot better without you around, you pain-in-the-butt wife.
Well, if you're gonna go as far as that, then maybe we are finished. I understand what you want now, so I'm quitting my job as your wife.
Oh, you're really going to quit now? Well, maybe if you stop talking back to me like this all the time, you'd have time to think about why I'm right. Do your job from now on. You have to make sure you do as your husband says. I mean, that's the only reason I married you in the first place, Anna.
Well, you make a good point. I'm at the point now where I can't even think of anything besides my understanding of you, Bryce. So, that's what we'll do then?
Go ahead! This better mean you listen to everything now, right?
No, that's not what I was talking about, but I'm saying that I'll do as you've asked so that I can make you happy. And so, that's what I'm gonna do.
Alright, already, just get home right now! If you have enough time to talk to me like this, then you must be finished with your work over there. So hurry home now! I need my dinner!
When I'm finished with my work, I'll come home. That's what everyone does, right? I'll see you later.
I'm not going to ask this again. Will you please stop screwing around?
Huh? What do you want about?
How long are you going to be overseas for work? Do you really think I'm fine with you being away from home this long? Hurry up and get home now! I can't deal with your crap any longer, woman!
Who are you calling woman like that? I want to know why the heck you're talking to me like that and what for. Do you not have any idea what you're asking for by talking to me with that attitude? What do you want?
I'm telling you to stop your trip overseas and come back! You think you can just get away with not cooking for me because you have a business trip to go on? It's almost been 2 weeks of you now dodging me! Are you fine with me divorcing you?
What? Why are you saying all that now? Are you trying to threaten me again?
I'm not just threatening you. I'm being very serious about leaving you. This is me demanding that you come home now. Are you going to ignore your husband's demand?
Wait, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm trying to make it clear to you that if you don't come back to me and make my dinner, I'm going to throw you onto the streets. You can't just run away for a few weeks and leave your husband at home with nothing to eat, can you? I don't ever remember saying that was okay for you to do. If it was going to be this long, I would have explained all of this to you before you left. Come back to the States, right now! You're getting the choice of either a divorce or leaving your job. Choose, now!
Do you not see how crazy a situation you've created for yourself? I have no reason to be listening to you. But you think I'll come back for you? You're a frickin' idiot, man.
What did you just say to me? You think it's okay to start calling me an idiot now, do ya? If I'm not around for you anymore, you won't be able to do a thing on your own. Who's been the one that's put this roof over our heads and food to eat?
And that's obviously been you, right?
Are you saying you're not thankful for all I've given?
Why would I be thankful for you? You seem to be at the point now that you've become so insane that you don't even know what you're saying anymore. Why would I need to be thankful to you, Bryce?
Do you think it's okay to make me this pissed off right now? I won't forgive you for this one. I am your husband, and you've just gone and pushed me to my limits.
My husband? You are very wrong about that.
Huh? You're that much of a piece of garbage that you can't even call me your husband anymore? If you take one more step further, I don't think I'll be able to hold myself back anymore. I'm going to divorce you.
Huh?
You think a wife that leaves her husband to go overseas and is never around to do her chores can just talk to me like that? If you don't get on a plane right now and come home to make me dinner, I'm divorcing you!
But we divorced last month, right?
Huh?
What the hell have you been saying this whole time? I told you last month that we had gotten divorced. We've been divorced for weeks now, so why are you coming at me saying that you're still my husband and have demands for me?
What are you saying? We're divorced? Don't talk to me about such nonsense! Since when did we ever get a divorce, Anna? I'm tired of you always getting this confused.
What am I confused about exactly? I already handed in our divorce paperwork a while back, and so I assumed we've been divorced since then. And I made sure to tell you all that last month when it happened.
You were being serious about all of that?
Why would I have ever been joking back then about that? There wouldn't have been anything in it for me if I'd done so.
Huh? That we're divorced? Huh? What's going on? When? How did you end up doing that without me ever noticing?
You said you'd filled out all the paperwork yourself, right?
So then you used that?
Of course I did. You had flaunted the fact that you'd filled out all your parts and everything, and so I took it and handed it in last month. So why are you talking to me about this now? We haven't been together now for a month, so why are you coming back to me now?
I never knew that you and I had gotten divorced. I just thought that you had left the house to go on a business trip.
Well, I'm not on a business trip right now.
Huh? What do you mean you're not on a business trip?
Well, I assumed that since you and I are nothing now and that you're just a stranger to me, I had no reason to tell you where I was going. I'm not on some business trip. Rather, I went and changed my career and I'm now working for a company outside the US. So I'm not going to be coming back there to be home anytime soon.
Huh? You're living overseas now then? Since when did you think you could just do all of that without letting me know at least? Why didn't you at least say that before you left? You know that I would have never let you go without my permission!
I'll tell you one last time. We are divorced now, you and I. So why would it make it necessary to have to come check in with you before making my own choices? We have never been that close to each other, especially now.
You say that like we were never even married. You were my wife, right?
But when I handed in that divorce paperwork, we went right back to being strangers. You were the one that kept asking for it, so I went and played along. Why would you think that I'd never hand the papers in?
You're asking me why? Because I never assumed you'd hand them in.
Come on. Did you really let yourself believe that without you I'd never be able to make it on my own? Well, if you still believe that, take a good look at me now. Whose house do you think you're living in right now?
Huh? What do you mean?
Wait, have you already left the place then? You knew that the house we were in was the house I took a loan out on to afford, so it was under my name.
What does that even mean? Huh? Is that right?
So you never even realized that either. Funny, since you had always made it seem like you put that roof over our heads. I at least hope you could have done some chores or something without me. The person that's been able to live with the help of others has been you, not me. So I'm wondering, why are you in someone else's house?
What do you mean by someone else's house? This is our house, right?
You're still wrong. You've been living in someone else's house ever since you and I got divorced. I didn't really care since I had moved away, but I plan to have that place sold very soon.
Huh? You're selling it?
I told you that after the divorce, right? That you needed to leave?
I just thought that everything you said to me back then was you trying to continue our fight or something.
Well, at this point, I don't have any plans to fight anymore. I had already told my realtor that the house would be going up for sale, and that's why I just thought I'd mention it to you. Anyway, before I called the police on you for trespassing, get out of that house. You had planned to have me tossed on the streets after a divorce, but how does it feel now to be told to leave my house?
I can't believe this. Are you really okay with what's all happening right now? I can't believe you've been planning on throwing me out.
Even if you can't believe it, they're all just the facts, so hurry yourself up and get a move on. I plan to come back for a little bit to help with the selling of the house, and I don't want you around while I'm there. And actually, why are you still there?
Huh? You're selling it? Why, Anna? This place was also my house. Even if you tell me to leave this place now, I can't just do it in a day.
Come on now. You've been the one planning this for a while now, right? Whenever I did something you didn't like, you used divorce as a way of threatening me. And even after telling you over and over again to stop, you keep coming at me with that horrible attitude of yours. You never even learned to change the way you acted out towards me, and so this is the price you get to pay. I'm so happy you decided to fill out a lot of that divorce paperwork because it made my decision a whole lot easier.
You're kidding, right? Does this mean you've always wanted to divorce me? Why, though? You'll never be able to find as good of a husband as me!
What? A good husband? What part of you is good?
What the?
If you're referring to all the plates you'd leave behind after eating and the rare occasions that you come around and make a meal for us, I think you're very wrong for making that seem like you were a good husband.
Huh? I was?
On top of that, your hateful attitude towards me that you'd have every day and the fact that you always tried to look down on me really showed me how terrible of a husband you were. Do you understand what I mean? It was impossible for me to be around you, especially when you got all worked up. But we're divorced now, so I don't really care if you understand me or not. So, why have you still not left the house after getting divorced?
You're asking me why?
So you really did not think we were divorced.
Anna, this isn't good. Can you please stop trying to mess with me? I didn't know anything about you selfishly handing in those documents without me. And asking me to leave all of a sudden is not going to sit well with me.
Huh? Do you not see who's messing around right now still?
Huh?
This is all what you deserve after treating your kind wife so horrible after she told you to lay off of her so many times. If you'd wanted to have someone around the house to do the chores all the time, you should have hired a maid or something like that. Well, if you're not even able to pay for the house you're sitting in right now, you probably never had the money to hire your own maid.
I don't want to leave. We're family, and we should be living together. Moving overseas without ever telling me, that's not the right thing to do right now. Can you please come back? If I don't have you with me, I'll be the one getting screwed.
You've changed so much from the man you were before that I can't help myself from laughing. Well, I'm so sorry, but I'm doing great without you. Actually, this is the best I've ever felt in such a long time, so I want you to stay away. Now hurry up and leave my house. You should be able to clean up by yourself by now. You're 36 years old, for God's sake.
My age has nothing to do with that. Please don't throw me away already. If I don't have you anymore, I'm going to have nowhere to live. I won't be able to survive. Don't throw me away.
Who was the one that made a fuss about me not being able to cook for you every day and that you'd throw me away for it?
Did I really say that?
If you can't seem to remember that, then go back 1 month in the text history and you'll be able to read everything. I'm getting tired of having to sit here and baby you right now. Well, I have a new life to make for myself over here now. Go on and enjoy your new life as a moneyless and worthless man already. In the end, Anna moved on and ignored anything else Bryce said to her. And after, it seems that Bryce was finally kicked out of her house. He had lost his house now and had no family to move in with. But since this is the life he asked for, there's no chance of anyone being around to help him back up. His mental health began to take a decline, and soon he couldn't make it into work as much, and so he soon lost his job as well. On the other hand, Anna's doing great with her new career, and she was finally able to make her dream come true of working and living in another country. And deep down, she's very happy for divorcing Bryce and making good use of herself. I guess the way he treated her really did seem to help her out after all.
Regina, are you there? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind helping out with some grocery shopping tomorrow. I imagine that you're free tomorrow, right? So please come over at the usual time to help me. I'm going to be buying some food today, but I also need some toilet bowl cleaner as well as toilet paper.
Hello, Diane. I'm sorry to say this, but I can't go out and do your shopping anymore.
What are you talking about? You know that my legs aren't doing so well and that I can't go out and shop by myself anymore. If you don't do all my shopping for me at least once a week, then how am I supposed to get the things I need to live? Quit being so selfish and just do what I say.
Did you really just call me that? If that's really how you feel, I think that maybe you should go check yourself into a hospital.
How many times have I told you? Aside from my legs, I'm perfectly healthy and there's no need for me to go see anyone.
Hello, Diane. I'm sorry that I had to disappear in the middle of our conversation. I was getting the bandages around my head replaced and put my phone down to do it.
Bandages on your head? What happened? Did you get hurt or something recently? I can certainly see banging your head into something, since you're such a klutz.
I actually received this injury from you today, Diane. I told you that I wasn't really feeling well, but you forced me to go to your family reunion. I couldn't even participate in anything. You just made me cook all the food and serve it to everyone. Then, right when I thought it was done, you came up from behind and hit me in the head with a pot.
The only reason I hit you was because I caught you sitting and I needed to teach you a lesson. You needed to learn that you don't get to rest until every single one of your guests has gone home.
But I had already done so much for you, and all while feeling bad, and besides, they weren't even my guests, they were yours. All I wanted was to get off my feet for a little bit, but I wasn't even sitting 1 minute before you showed up. Then you started saying all these horrible things like just because I send money to you every month doesn't mean I can laze around, and that your daughter works so much harder than I do, and then you smacked me upside the head.
Oh, please, don't be such a baby. I barely even hit you that hard.
Are you kidding me? There was blood coming out of my head. I don't know why you always treat me like this. Ever since your husband died, I've been waiting on you hand and foot, even sending you money every month to help cover all your expenses. I feel like I do every little thing that you ask of me. I know that your daughter got married and moved away, so it's hard to count on them for much help, and I'm not expecting them to make the trip down for everything you need either. But I just don't get why you had to compare me to your daughter when I was the one there actually helping you. And on top of that, on top of all the help and support I gave you, getting hit in the head is all I get in return.
You must really think you're the center of the universe or something, don't you? You married my oldest son, so of course you are always going to be helping me with whatever I need. And you keep going on and on about the money you send, but it's only $2,500 a month.
And you're telling me that isn't enough for you?
I know damn well that my son works his butt off at his job, and then he makes more than enough for the both of you. And yet you insisted on keeping your job even though you knew it meant that you would be spending less time helping me. You sending me that money was a way to help make up for ignoring your responsibilities towards me, and it barely covers that.
I'm sorry, but I think that money is more than enough for you to live off of, Diane.
It's enough for me to get by on if I never want to do anything fancy for the rest of my life.
Look, I'm about to go to the hospital to get all of this looked at, and I just want you to know that I will be charging you for my medical bills.
Excuse me? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke or something? You really need to get off your high horse if you think that this is how you get to treat people for a measly $2,500 a month. I should have hit you harder in the head. Then maybe you would have finally come to your senses. You'll never make me pay for your hospital bills.
Okay, fine then. If that's really how you want to play it, then I'll just stop sending you money entirely.
Why don't you just go ahead and try it? Just remember that to me, that's all you're good for, and if you stop paying me, I will make my son leave you.
Hey, Regina, where are you right now? I just got home and no one else was there. I'm starting to get worried. All the lights were off and everything. Did something happen?
Oh, Ben, I'm really sorry. I've been so busy that I haven't been able to reach out to you all day. I'm actually just about to leave the hospital right now.
Wait, the hospital? What were you doing there? Did you get hurt?
Well, your mom hit me in the head with a cooking pot. And she hit me right in the lip of the pot, so I was bleeding from the wound a little bit and went to go get examined. Thankfully, the doctor said that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and there's no brain damage or anything.
I'm sorry, back up. Did you say that your mom hit you in the head with a cooking pot? Why were you even with my mom in the first place? I thought you said that you weren't feeling well and that you weren't gonna go to my mom's family party thing. You even told me that she said he was fine if you didn't go.
I know I said that, but then she showed up to our place ringing the doorbell and wouldn't leave until I went with her. She was making such a racket, and I just wanted to get her away before any neighbors noticed.
What is the matter with her? Why would she do something like that? I'm so sorry this happened, Regina. I should have been more strict with my mom about this kind of thing. And I wasn't, and now you got hurt as a result of my not wanting to stand up to my mom.
Thank you so much, Ben. But please don't blame yourself for any of this. I'll let you know once I'm done here, okay?
Yes, please let me know, and tell me if there's anything I can do for you.
Hey Ben, I'm all done, and I think I've been cleared to go home. Would you mind coming to pick me up?
Of course, I'll be right there. And then I think that I'm going to have a long talk with my mom. There is no way I'm going to sit back and do nothing now that something like this has happened.
I really don't think you need to do that, Ben.
What do you mean? You don't want me to talk to my mom about this?
No, it's not that. I just really don't think that your mom's gonna listen to anything we try and say to her. Besides, there's something else.
Something else? What do you mean by that?
I mean that today, while I was at the hospital, I found out that I'm pregnant.
Wait, really? Are you serious?
Yeah, they did a full-body physical on me and finally used the sonogram and found out. That's why it took me so long to get checked out. But now I'm so grateful that at least I didn't fall on the floor after your mom hit me. Things could have turned out much, much worse, especially for this baby I have inside of me. But anyways, for the time being, I really just don't want to see your mom at all. I don't know if she's gonna try to hurt me again.
I understand that, but I don't think that we can just cut off my mom like it's nothing. If anything, trying to do so might just aggravate her more.
So you're still not quite ready to stop talking to your mom entirely then, even after this?
I know what you're probably thinking about me. Even I'm wondering if this wouldn't have happened if I did something like that sooner.
No, I understand it's asking a lot of you to stop talking to your mom. But I have another idea if you'd like to listen to it.
Hey, Regina, just what the heck is going on here, huh? I thought I told you to go out and do my shopping yesterday. Why isn't it done?
Good morning, Diane. I wasn't able to do your shopping yesterday because, as I told you, I was in the hospital. They kept me there late because they wanted to make sure I didn't have any permanent head damage.
I knew I didn't hit you hard enough. If I did, you wouldn't still be making excuses about why you don't want to help out your poor mother-in-law. But at this rate, I'm going to starve. Is that what you want?
Honestly, I don't think it would really bother me if you did.
Excuse me? What did you just say? How dare you say something like that to a poor old woman like me? You're nothing but a rotten, mean person.
Listen, Diane, I'm not trying to be rude here, but you do have a daughter of your own. In fact, she was there at your little family get-together yesterday. So much of your family was. And yet, I was the one who did all of the cooking and serving. Why didn't you ask anyone else for help?
Because they were all my guests and I was hosting them, of course.
I understand that, but everyone there was family, and I don't get why it would have been so bad to ask for help. Instead, you just put all the work on me and then went to socialize. In fact, not only did I have to cook and serve everyone, but your daughter even gave me her child to look after.
And just what's wrong with that, huh? Don't you realize how busy she is raising her kids all the time? The least you could have done for her was take her kids off her hands for a while and give her a break. I can't believe that all you ever do is complain. Do you enjoy being the way you are?
Regina, are you there? I just want to let you know that I went to the town hall and picked up those documents. It was a bit of a hassle, but I think we got all the paperwork we need. How are you feeling, by the way? You're not straining yourself at all, right? I'll take care of everything at home, so don't worry about that.
Hey there, Ben. Yes, I feel a lot better and more relaxed now. I think all I needed was a few hours to lie around in bed.
So you really don't think you have to go back to the hospital for anything?
I think it's for the best that I don't go. If your mom ever found out that I was there, I wouldn't have anywhere to run. Although I did lie to her about still being in the hospital.
That's probably a good idea. If she knew where you really were, she would probably come over and try to talk to you face to face.
Ben, I just want to check with you one last time. Are you sure about going along with my plan? You know that after this, you're probably never going to speak to your mom again.
I know, but if it's what I have to do to protect you and our child, then I'll do it. I wasn't able to protect you from my mom yesterday, but I won't make that same mistake again. By the way, you remember my dad, don't you?
Yeah, I remember that him and your mom split up and then your mom got remarried, right?
That's right, although it wasn't like they divorced because they disliked each other or anything. My mom actually cheated on my dad.
Wait, what? I had no idea about that.
I know, I should have said something earlier, but I was just so embarrassed about it. I'm sorry that I wasn't more upfront about any of that with you.
Ben, you don't have anything to apologize for. I never really ask about your mom anyways, and you don't need to tell me all your family's secrets anyways.
Thank you so much for understanding, Regina. But anyway, after the divorce, my mom fought really hard to keep custody of us, and that's why we didn't end up going with our dad. But I never got along with my mom's new husband, and only tolerated him because my mom liked him so much. But he was a really strict man who wasn't afraid to punish my sister and I harshly if we acted up. Finally, I just gave up and decided to just accept whatever came my way because it was easier than fighting.
You've been through so much, Ben. I just hope you don't blame yourself for any of it.
I'm not sure, but at least I know that with you, I really feel like I can be myself. And the reason I say all of this is so that you know why it's so difficult for me to leave my mom. You see, not longer before you and I got married, my mom's second husband died. I remember that she was just crushed at the funeral. I'd never seen her so distraught and finally despondent. I couldn't bear the thought of turning my back on her. Even when she asked us to start sending her money every month, I felt that it was okay since she worked so hard to raise us.
Well, you were putting in most of the money that we were sending to her.
But of course I would. I'm her son and she came to me to ask for it. But I can't forgive her this time after what she did for you. So I'm gonna do what it takes and protect you and our child from her from here on out. In fact, I think I knew that I would come to this decision the moment you said you were pregnant. I would do anything for you both. Thank you for showing me that, Regina.
Hey, Regina, how come you haven't sent me any money this month? I thought I told you that if you stopped paying me, that would be the end of your marriage to my son.
I'm afraid that threat isn't going to work on me, Diane. Ben and I are already divorced.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
Are you really so surprised about that? You said that if I stopped sending you money that you would force Ben and I to get a divorce. Well, I decided that I didn't feel like paying you anymore, so I saved you the trouble and divorced Ben myself.
You really are an idiot, you know. I must have done more damage to your head than I realized. But now that you've left Ben, you do realize that no one will ever want to marry you ever again, right? I mean, who would want a woman who couldn't even hold her first husband down? You're going to spend the rest of your life lonely and miserable. But I'll be kind and spare you that fate just this once. I'll let you marry my son again if you start sending me the money. Except this time, I want $3,000 every month. Now go ahead and thank me and tell me how grateful you are for this chance.
Diane, I think there's some kind of mistake here, because I've already gotten married.
Wait, what? You divorced my son and have already found someone else? Does that mean you were cheating on Ben this whole time?
Cheating? No, I would never do that. I'm not you, after all. I got remarried to Ben.
What's going on here? Is this some kind of stupid game you're trying to play? So then you two never really got divorced and nothing really changed at all?
No, you still don't get it. We got married, and this time Ben took my last name.
Okay, well now I know that you must be joking. Why would my son want to throw away his family name for yours?
Well, that would be because Ben never wants to speak with you ever again.
That's a lie too. My Ben would never say something like that. Benjamin, you have got some explaining to do, young man. What is this business I hear about you taking your wife's last name? Please tell me that you didn't really.
No, it's no mistake at all. You've already done all the paperwork, so it's official. I have Regina's last name now.
Oh, you little ingrate. Well, go and reverse it right now. Or do all the years I spent raising you just mean nothing?
I know that you worked hard to raise me, Mom, and I'm thankful for all that you've done. But at the end of the day, you were my mom and that was your job. I don't think I'm obligated to do anything back for you. Besides, you were the one who went and cheated with Dad and got remarried to that horrible man. Not only that, but you two quickly started treating my sister like she was your only child, and I felt like I had no place at home.
Are you really speaking ill of the dead right now? When did you get so disrespectful?
Mom, I know how upset you were when he died, and I really was trying to pity you after he was gone. But I've reached my limits, and now I have to do what I can to protect my family.
Your family? Did you get hit in the head too? I am your family, Ben. You can't just take your wife's name and pretend like we don't exist. Besides, you don't even have any kids. How can you choose your wife over the rest of your whole real family? What did she do to turn you against us?
Enough, Mom! I seriously have had it with you! Regina is pregnant with our child, and as her husband and the father, it's my job to be there for them. And it's clear that keeping you in their life would only be a danger to both Regina and our child. I'm making the choice to protect my family from you. I never wanted it to come to this, but I never want to see you ever again.
Wait, Ben, you can't do this to me. Regina, what did you do to my son? He's blocked my number and he says he never wants to see me again. You knock some sense into this man right this second.
Diane, you really need to face reality. If Ben says he never wants to talk to you again, then I'm not going to breach that wish.
Oh, just shut up, you brat. You turned him against me and you're going to try and talk down to me? How dare you do this to me? But you still haven't beaten me, you know. I still have another child who I can go to for money.
And you really think that your daughter is going to try to do that for you? You're welcome to try, but I don't think it's going to go the way you think.
And just why is that, huh?
Well, because I've already heard that you've been spending all your money on gigolos and hiring handsome men to go out with you. In fact, I've heard you sunk so much money into doing that you're quite a bit in debt now.
Wait a second, how did you hear about all of that?
Oh, don't you worry about that. But judging from your reaction, I take it that all of that is true. So, do you really think your daughter is going to help you out of this mess you made for yourself? I can't see it happening. After all, she already has 3 kids of her own. I seriously doubt she would be able to afford to send you the kind of money that you'd be hoping for. But Ben and I aren't giving you anything anymore either. You'll just have to learn how to make do with your savings and retirement money.
Wait, so then Ben knows about all of this too?
That's right. He knows about your bad habit and the debt it's gotten you in.
Well, if you both know how much money I owe, then you have to help me. I won't be able to live if you don't keep sending me money.
I'm afraid that you and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. You'll have to figure this out for yourself.
This isn't a game. This is my life that we're talking about here. How could you do this to me?
These are going to be the last messages you ever get from me, Diane. I've already reported what you did to me to the police, and you're going to be arrested for assault and fraud.
Fraud? Are you kidding me? That isn't fair. You're just accusing me of false crime now.
But you are guilty of fraud. This whole time you've led me to think that you could barely get yourself around, and that's why you needed so much help. But you had your knees replaced a couple years ago, and you've had no health problems since then. You've just been using me this entire time.
But my legs were bad once. Doesn't that count?
It doesn't. And especially not after how much of my own money you had me spending on you under this false pretense. Anyways, enjoy jail. After that, Diane was arrested and Ben agreed to never speak to her ever again. I suppose it's only natural that a woman who cheated on her husband would turn to paying men to shower her with attention. But I later heard from Ben that even his sister cut their mom off, and that Diane was truly left with no one she could turn to for help. I hear she had to take a couple of part-time jobs just to keep up with the interest payments on her debt. Meanwhile, Ben and I have been enjoying the quiet married life and are eagerly expecting the birth of our first child.
Hey, Lily, come on! Where are you going? You know that I was only joking, right? Don't make such a big deal! Ha 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 ha!
A joke? How dare you try to downplay it like that? You asked all of those questions about how I was raised and humiliated me in front of everyone. Your whole family is laughing at me. How could you do that to me?
It wasn't anything like that, though. I just know that my family would be interested in the kind of girl that I was marrying. Besides, you know I come from a really important family. We're not like other families. We can't just let anyone in.
But that wasn't all you did. Even after all that, you still just had to throw your water on me. I'll never forgive you for this.
No, you don't understand. That's just something we do. We need to make sure that anyone we let into our family is tough enough to take on whatever might get thrown at them. That's all.
How is it something you've done before if you're an only child? Oh, do you just do this to every single woman you let into your house?
No, wait. I didn't mean to say it like that. Please, don't be like this. You know you're the only girl for me. I know that you know that.
The only thing I now know is that I don't know you at all. But now that I do, I know that we can never be married.
What are you talking about? You don't have to be like this. Come on, we're both getting up there in years. You know it'll be easier if we just get married.
Is that the only reason you can think of to marry me? What even am I to you, Charles?
You're the girl that I, an heir from a rich family, am asking to marry. And I think you just barely passed in my parents' eyes. So as long as you just fly straight, you'll be fine. I know that you were raised by your father and that you were poor, but at least your face is okay. Well, it's okay once you balance it out with the rest of you. Anyway, you're pretty enough for me to marry you, so be happy.
I don't believe it. Were you always like this? Did I just never realize?
Come on, I'm the same me that you've always loved. I don't get what you're making a big deal about. Are you forgetting that I'm saving you from living out the rest of your life poor and alone? You know you have to come back to me. You don't have any other choice.
No, I've made up my mind. You and I are not getting married, and that's final. And I'm gonna take myself home.
Man, you're really being a pain in the butt. You know that? You know that I don't have to take that from you if I don't want to, right?
Oh, well, thank you so much for doing me the favor of taking it. But I don't need anything from you anymore. I want to marry someone who would see me as their equal.
Yes, and I want a rocket ship to take me to Mars. This is the real world, and you need to start living in it. Of course we're not equal. You're far beneath me. And that's just a fact.
I really hope that this isn't how you see the world. That's just horrible. But I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Just stay away from me and out of my life.
Man, you really like dragging this out, don't you? How long until you give this up? And we go back to being together, babe.
This isn't an act. I'm hurt and upset, and I don't want to see you or your family ever again.
And just what do you have to say about my family? Huh? You're trying to insult them as well?
I'm certainly not trying to praise them. And if that's how they treat every potential suitor you bring home, then I don't see how you're ever getting married.
How dare you make fun of my family? Do you have any idea who you're talking to? We built this country, you ingrate!
You're delusional, Charles. Just leave me alone.
I'll make you pay for this! Hey there, Lily. How'd it go meeting Charles' parents today? I know that you had a lot to talk about. But when do you think you're coming home?
I'm sorry for not saying anything, Dad. I'm coming home alone right now.
Well, that's okay. Nothing to apologize for. But is everything okay? Did something happen?
Well, actually, yes.
I never realized that he was that kind of guy. I'm so sorry that he put you through that, Lily. That's horrible.
It was horrible, but I just don't know what I ever saw in him. He was a walking red flag, and I just never noticed it until now.
You didn't do anything wrong, so don't blame yourself. He tricked you and led you right into that trap. If anything, I'm sorry that he used me to make fun of you.
Dad, please, if I don't have anything to be sorry for, then you have even less than that. Charles has no idea how behind the times he is criticizing single-parent families. Not only did you raise me, but you also became the CEO of your company. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Well, I couldn't have done any of that without you, Lily. I mean that. But anyways, you need to stay away from those people. I already have some of my guys looking into them. But do you have anything that could serve as evidence against them?
Of course. course I have the messages we've sent and even some voice recordings I managed to take. They're a bit choppy, but I have them.
I'm sure they would be more than enough. Would you mind sending me all of those? I have no idea what the person who thought to partner with them was thinking.
Dad, thank you so much for your help. I'll pretend like I don't know anything, and it might be good if you don't let anyone onto what you're doing either. And I'm sure they tricked whoever dealt with them at your company the same way they tricked me.
You might be right about that. But okay, things are in motion. Let's hope this goes somewhere.
Sounds good to me, Dad. Also, I'm gonna pick up a six-pack on the way home. I need a drink after today, and you're welcome to join me. Then, tomorrow, I'm going to the courthouse to annul my marriage.
Well, I must say that I'm looking forward to both of those things. Hey there, Lily. I just really want to apologize for yesterday.
And just what are you apologizing for exactly?
I just wanted you to know that that wasn't the real me. It's just, I change when I'm around my parents. I know what I did hurt you, and that it wasn't right, and I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
You can't honestly expect me to believe that this is genuine, right?
I want to marry you, Lily. I mean it. I don't want anything to change between us, and I want us to get married, just like we planned to.
Then you really mean it? You're really sorry for everything you did?
Of course I am. I wasn't in my right mind yesterday at all. I know that my family bullies outsiders, and sometimes I get swept up in that. I'm sorry I wasn't brave enough to say anything to them, but I really love you, and I know that much is true.
Okay then. I accept your apology, Charles.
Really? You mean it? Oh, you don't know how much that means to me. Thank you so much, Lily.
But I want you to know that I wish you had stood up for me and said something to your parents.
I know. I should have done that from the start, but I promise to do it from here on out. Nothing like tomorrow is ever going to happen again. In fact, I've told my parents that I never, ever want to talk to them again.
Did you really say that to them? What did they have to say in response?
It was my decision. They didn't have a say in any of it, but I told them that if they weren't going to respect my future wife, then they could say goodbye to their son.
Charles, I'm so conflicted. I don't know what to believe now.
Believe in me, Lily. The me that you know deep in your heart, that you love. You said you accepted my apology, so some part of you must still have faith in me, right? You do still want to get married, right?
Please don't ask me that right now.
I'll take your silence as a yes, and keep planning. Good morning, Lily! Wait a second. Is today the day we were supposed to be getting married? Oops, sorry. I won't be able to go today.
What are you talking about this time, Charles?
I forgot that I had already made other plans for today that I just couldn't back out of. So I guess you'll just have to handle all of the cancellation of the wedding yourself.
I seriously have no idea what you're talking about, Charles.
Okay, let me break it down for you. I can't go to our wedding because I'm leaving for a trip with my family today. So you are going to tell everyone that there's no wedding, and then you're going to pay for all of the cancellation fees.
Oh, we were never even engaged in the first place.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I know you had something sent to my dad's place, but I was pretty shocked when it said it was an invitation to our wedding. After all, I'd already gone through our process of formally dissolving our engagement.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
It means that I accepted your apology, but that doesn't mean that I forgive you. I knew that your apology was fake from the start, and I was never taking it seriously.
You stupid woman! What are you even talking about? You're supposed to be broken up over the fact that I'm leaving you at the altar!
I have no idea why you think you can treat people the way that you do, but I never signed any names to any wedding plans, and I'm not paying any fees to cancel them.
And so what? Do you think that's supposed to hurt me or something? It doesn't matter the cost. My family is rich.
Well, did both your parents know about this little scheme of yours?
You mean the amazing prank that I just pulled on you? Of course they knew about it. We're all here in the airport laughing our heads off at how stupid you must feel. And soon, we're gonna get on the plane and leave for our trip.
So you were all in on this then, I see. In that case, I really won't feel bad punishing all of you.
What punishing are you talking about? Have you gone crazy or something? What could a little nobody like you ever do to touch my family?
Well, for one, both of your parents just lost their jobs.
Are you telling me both my parents were just fired? You seriously need to work on your lying skills if you think I'm going to believe a word of that.
It's no lie, Charles. I know that both your parents work for Grell Corp. Or rather, worked for, I should say. But they were fired over this.
That's impossible! My dad runs Grell Corp! That's literally my last name! And my mom is a department manager who oversees hundreds of workers. They aren't people who can just be fired at the drop of a hat. And just who was it who did the firing anyways?
Well, that would be the president of Sky Inc., which Grell Corp is a subsidiary of.
Hold on a second. Now your lie is getting too complex. What does the president of Sky Inc. have to do with any of this?
Well, him and my father are very close business partners, and more than that, they've been friends for years. My dad mentioned this to him, and they said he would look into it.
Wait a second. My dad is on the phone. Oh crap. He looks really upset. I think he's apologizing right now. Please tell me none of this is true.
I'm afraid that my dad showed him some of the hurtful messages and recordings I have of you and your family. The hurt isn't over for you, though, and you will be hearing from my lawyer.
Wait, hold on. This has to be some kind of joke, right?
You lied to me, humiliated me, and then tried to cancel our engagement on the day of our wedding. Then you tried to leave me with the bill for it all. This is no joke, Charles.
But you tried to insult my family. I had to put you in your place.
I made one comment about your family after you ripped apart my childhood, all because I was raised by a single father. I told you that I would never forgive you for this.
You haven't won yet. I'll get you back for this. I will have my revenge! Lily, I'm so sorry for everything, but can I please just ask you one little favor?
Are you really trying to pull the same trick with me again? And just what makes you think I'm even interested in hearing anything more from you, much less help you?
No, please, listen, I promise I'll give you a real apology, but you have to listen to what I want to ask you.
But I don't really care about your apology or your request. So, what now? It's obvious you haven't spent any time thinking about your actions, so I don't see the point in wasting my time on you.
Wait, no, please. I really have been thinking a lot about everything, okay? I mean, even my dad blamed me for all of this and disinherited me. I don't have a home. I don't even have any money.
And what's that you want from me?
I want you to forgive me. I don't want you to say that you'll marry me or anything, but I want to go back to the way things were between us.
Are you sure? Because it seems to me like you just want money. I know that you've been really bad about your spending, and now I assume it's all coming to bite you in the butt.
Wait, how did you know that?
Why else would you try and make me pay for all $25,000 of our wedding reservations? You're probably up to your neck in debt now because you don't know how to budget.
Sure, I have debt, but I don't even have a house right now. My parents aren't going to give me any more help, and I don't know how to get out of this by myself. Please, I don't even have any friends left. You're the only person I can turn to.
Well, unfortunately for you, you're still gonna have to pay for the way that broke off our engagement.
You mean even though I'm going through all of this, you're still going to make me pay?
Of course I am. It's clear to me that you still haven't really learned your lesson. That's why I'm not done punishing you. You can apologize all you want, but I know how to really hurt you. In your wallet.
Okay, I get it. I'm really sorry that I took the whole being from a rich family thing too far. I really didn't mean any of it like that, and I never should have looked down on you and your dad the way I did either. Besides, I had no idea that he was friends with CEOs and a big businessman himself.
So you mean to say that all it takes for you to not belittle someone is knowing that they're also rich? It's because that's how you see the world that we can never be together.
Wait, no, please! Lily, can't we just meet up and talk about this in person? I'm at your house right now ringing the doorbell. Are you home?
What are you talking about, Charles?
Please, just answer the door. At least let me talk to you. I'm not going to stop ringing the doorbell until you come out and talk to me, Lily.
No, I mean that I'm at my house, but I don't hear any doorbell at all. Are you sure that you're at the right address?
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you playing dumb? Of course I have the address. Now open the door. Wait a second. Did you call the cops on me?
Why? Are the cops where you are right now? Oh, wait, it was probably just the owners of the house where you're at who did it. I mean, I would too if there was some crazy guy outside my door.
No, this can't be happening. Please, Lily, can't we just start all over?
I think you have more pressing things to think about right now, Charles. After that, Charles was taken away by the police and brought back to his parents' house. Apparently, there was a similar-looking house in my neighborhood with the same last name on their mailbox, and that was where Charles made his mistake. He was warned by the police to not do that again and ultimately let go. In order to pay the $25,000 bill for the cancellation fees, Charles ended up borrowing money from several shady sources. But with his parents out of a job, he had no choice but to pay all of that back himself. Never having worked a day in his life, Charles was forced to take very low-paying part-time jobs. Apparently, the only things keeping Charles' parents together were their money and their hatred for people. However, after being fired, they now had no money and were poor themselves. I heard through the grapevine that the marriage did not last long after that. Despite both of them going their separate ways, however, they both agreed they still wanted nothing to do with Charles. As for me, I'm so grateful to have a loving father who would go to the ends of the earth to protect me. As a reward, we took a trip overseas together and have been enjoying reconnecting after such an ordeal. On that trip, we were able to reminisce together about the trials and tribulations we faced only having each other to count on in life. Dad always talked about how he has me to thank for all of his success, but I think he truly enjoys being able to step in and protect his daughter when she really needed to be. I'm going to be getting married to a really well-off man, Grant. We're planning to have an absolutely gorgeous wedding because of him, and I plan to invite all my old classmates. However, the only person that's not going to be invited is you.
Huh?
So I wonder if you even understand what I'm saying. Hello? Did you hear me, Grant? Do you understand? Maybe I made the mistake of thinking you could read as well.
No, I can read everything you're saying, but what do you mean?
I'm saying that you're not invited to my wedding. Can you figure out the reason why that is? That's because you're missing one of your legs. And I have no plans on having a man missing a leg at my wedding. The whole occasion would become all depressing because of you.
I'm sorry for missing a leg, but that's not going to be a problem for me. Because to be honest, I don't even want to come to your wedding. So why did you decide to go out of your way today to send me all of this hateful stuff? Did I ever say that I wanted to come? Ever?
I'm sure you wanted to come, but are just trying to act strong now because of me denying you. My wedding is the type of thing everyone around is talking about right now, and there's not one person that said they didn't want to come.
I'm very jealous of your ability to think that everyone cares about your insignificant wedding, but I really do not care about your wedding. Really, I'd have liked it if you just kept all of this to yourself and never texted me in the first place. But I understand what you want, so congrats on that wedding.
Oh, it must be so painful to know that all your other classmates are getting invited to this wedding, and yet you're not allowed to come.
You shouldn't be saying that when it's you that doesn't want me there.
Oh? So you do want to come after all. It's best if you tell me your true feelings. If you really want to keep thinking about why you're not invited, I'll give you some more time to think about it.
I already get what you mean, Camila. Really, shouldn't you be thinking about why you seem to still want me to come?
I don't want you to come, no. There's a limit to being confused by all of this. Well, if for whatever reason you still do want to come, I guess I could let you. But there will be some conditions.
No, I told you already that I don't want to come.
If you can walk here, then I'm fine with you coming. Are you still in that wheelchair?
I don't need that chair anymore, because I have an artificial leg now.
What? Oh, it's crazy having a peg leg. Ooh. Then you still can't walk, right?
What reason do you think I got this prosthetic? I was able to get myself one and a few months of training so that I'm able to walk like I do now.
Well, that's too bad. That means you can come to my wedding now.
Camila, I really have no clue what you want to say to me, but I really do not plan to come to your wedding. Even if you did send me a formal invitation, I still probably wouldn't have decided to go. I've gone and washed all the past away now, so I have no intention of meeting you again. At this point, the two of us have become adults, and there's no reason for you to continue making fun of me now, right?
It's funny that a man without a leg is still trying to talk back to me. I wanted you to just listen to what I had to say, and that's all. But I guess this has all just been a big waste of time. Well, it's whatever. I'm gonna take back what I said, and now you are for sure not allowed into your old girlfriend's wedding.
And I never wanted to be there in the first place, so you can rest easy now. Now stop contacting me, okay? That's all I have to ask from you. The day of the wedding?
You idiot! It's your fault for coming to my wedding uninvited even after we had all talked. What reason made a peg-legged man like you come here today?
You're the worst, Camilla. I'd always been thinking that there was something wrong with you, but looking down on me because of my prosthetic, and then pushing me into the fountain in the front lobby of the wedding hall? I don't think anyone sane could ever do that to someone else, unprovoked.
And I'm thinking you're insane for ever coming here. I told you over and over again that I didn't want you here, and yet you still came? This isn't even okay for a former classmate to do to me. So, for what reason did you decide to come here and ruin my wedding?
Do you really think I came all the way to your wedding to ruin it out of spite or something?
Well, what other reason could you have? Maybe you came here to make me look like an idiot with the intention of trying to get back together? Well, that won't happen because you can't even catch me when you only have one leg. I'm so happy I had people next to me today to help me in dealing with you.
So, you think I came here with only myself in mind then? Well, even if that were the case, pushing me into that pool of water was not necessary. I can't even say that in all my time on this earth, I've ever met someone worse than you, Camilla.
Oh, shut up, Grant. What makes you think you can say that to me after coming here to ruin my wedding? I never wanted a legless man at my wedding in the first place.
You really have a problem with discriminating against me. But now that you did all of that and threw me out of there, you're going to have far bigger problems on your hands. Are you really okay with that?
What kind of problems? Having you here is the only problem. A low-class man missing a leg and having to hobble around is telling me that I have problems? Me? The one that's part of the elite now? I was hoping that pushing you into that water would make you realize that you're not even close to the same class as the rest of us. So now get lost.
I'm going now.
I want an ugly and drenched loser to be gone.
If you knew the real reason I came to your wedding today, you'd regret everything that you've done to me. But now, I really can't stand the look of your face anymore. And so, I'll do as you wish and get lost. However, I'm really looking forward to hearing about how far you fall after learning the truth.
I don't care. Just get the hell out of here. I don't want my excellent wedding getting any more tainted by you than it already has been.
I'm leaving. Enjoy your wedding. Take good care of my brother as well.
Huh?
Goodbye now.
Who are you talking about? Brother? I don't get it.
The groom today is my older brother.
Huh? Drew is?
I think when Drew finds out about all of this, he's going to have to cancel this whole wedding.
Wait, what kind of poor joke is that? Are you really that lost after what happened today? I think you need to get lost before you start to lose any more of your sanity from getting pushed into that fountain. There's just no way Drew could be your older brother.
Why can't he be?
Huh? Why can't he be?
We both have the same last name, and we have a pretty rare last name at that. So why do you think that he couldn't be my brother and be dead set on the idea of just cutting ties with me?
Wait, you're serious?
Well, whatever now. I'm going to leave now, and I don't have the patience to talk with anyone anymore. Go ahead and find out about this on your own now. But if you're starting to panic now, I think you're a bit too late. 30 minutes later...
Grant, come back here right now. Where did you run off to? Please answer me.
No, thank you. Why do you think I have the desire to listen to your actual voice now? I never want to hear that annoying voice of yours again.
Drew said that he's going to be canceling the wedding. He's wondering who it was that pushed his little brother into that pool of water. Please don't tell him it was me.
I don't think I'll ever have to tell him for him to find out that it was you.
Oh, crap, he found out.
That went by pretty fast. But I guess there weren't many people there that are crazy enough to do something like you did to me.
This is all going to crap. I've never once seen Drew this upset before. He just told me that he never ever wants to see my face again after this. There has to be something he's confused about right now, right?
Well, if you're the one that's getting this worked up over something like this, then it's probably you that's the one that caused all of this. Don't you think?
Seems like the people around me that saw what I did even went to my parents about it. They're both pissed as well now. They're saying I'm the worst human they've ever seen and don't want anything to do with me from now on.
Well, what your parents are thinking is probably the right choice.
Well, what does that mean? Do you not get that this is all your fault? I want you to get back here right now and help me.
What?
It's your fault that my wedding is going to be canceled. I never once thought that for whatever reason you'd turn out to be Drew's little brother. I'm sure that if I'd known you were his brother, then I never would have gone that far with you. So, that being said, this isn't my fault, right?
Camila, are you trying to screw around right now?
Huh? Why? I'm just asking for you to come and help me out of this.
Even if you think that I'll come to help you, what makes you think I have any reason to help you? No matter how hard you try from now on to make this all my fault, you were the one that chose to discriminate against me. I'd say this is what you deserve. It's because of the way you thought of me that your wedding turned out this way.
There's no reason for you to be saying such rude things to me now. You're my old classmate, so you should want to help me. Knowing that you should be able to help me now, right?
And what could possibly make me want to help you just because you're my old classmate?
Come on, we're friends, right?
Excuse me? Friends?
That's why I was thinking of all this as two friends messing around with each other. I really want to marry your brother now, so please? I was finally able to find a man that thinks in the same way I do. I'll be able to become a housewife after marrying a well-off man like him. I'm literally at the part of my life where all of my dreams are supposed to come true. I can't just let myself be thrown away by him last minute.
Camila, I think it's really time you stop screwing around about all of this.
Huh? Grant?
I can barely walk on my own, yet you pushed me into the fountain. Having a prosthetic leg like this one is pretty heavy. Do you understand that? If there weren't people there to help me out of the water, I would have been in serious trouble. I could have died.
Now, you don't have to blow it all that much out of proportion. You can calm down a bit more, right? All I wanted to do was play around with you a little bit, like a prank. I never once thought people would take all of this so seriously. Do you think we can all just calm down a little before making any huge and negative choices?
Even if you do think of it as just some prank, you still almost got me killed. And now you think that because Drew's my brother, I'll be able to help you out of the situation you put yourself into? Do you have something wrong with your head? I have no need to help you out after all of this. If you really do still want to get married to him, why don't you go and try to talk to him about this instead of me? I have nothing else to say to you now. Now it's your turn to confront the people that you pissed off about all of this.
You're kidding. I have to go and talk to them now?
Well, I already told them everything about how you've treated me.
What? Why would you do something as needless as that? I can't believe all of this right now. There was really no reason for you letting them know anything about this. Now I really can blame you for all of this. You're the one that's ruined any chance I had of making my dream come true.
Go ahead and say whatever you'd like, you dog. I know that my brother has no use for a disgrace like you, and I really hope he's lost any piece of you that he held in his heart. I had to tell them because you couldn't help yourself.
But I told you that this all isn't that big of a deal. Was everything that I did really that bad?
You still don't get it, do you? Of course it all was.
But I apologized to you for it. So you should be forgiving me now, right?
Since when did you apologize to me? And even if you did, this isn't something that a simple apology will fix. I'm going to have to take you to court over this.
Huh? To court? What the hell does that mean?
Well, I was telling my brother about this. I also asked to make sure he was okay with it. And then I called the police. I believe that they'll be arriving there pretty soon.
The police? Oh, come on now, Grant. You're just bullcrapping me now, right?
I had no intention of getting the law involved in any of this. And I didn't want to ruin my brother's wedding. But when I realized he'd be marrying a criminal, I had no choice but to take action against you. But before I even could, Drew was already on top of it. He called the police even before finding out it was you, because he wanted to make sure they got there before the criminal could get away.
Hold on. Criminal? Who here is a criminal? I'm a bit scared now.
Come on! I said it was you!
Huh?
I think that with the help of the police, you'll be able to understand all you've done wrong a whole lot better. It's one thing to make fun of me for missing a leg and all that, but pushing me into a deep pool of water is really messed up. So messed up, actually, that it can be seen as assault. Do you understand what'll happen to you if the police see it that way? You laughed at me as I struggled to get out of that water!
But I never meant for you to get hurt by any of that. Actually, I think I might have been a little bit tipsy at the time. It's my wedding, after all, so I had a little bit to drink. I might not have noticed what I was doing at the time. I might have thought at the time that it'd be funny to push you in, but now I can see it wasn't that good of an idea, huh? I'm sorry. See? Now I'm apologizing, so you can forgive me, right?
You're asking way too much now. I plan to have you burn in hell for this. I could tell that you had every intent of pushing me into that water and then laughing about it. However, it seems that in the end, you're the one that pushed yourself into the deep hole you dug.
You can't be serious, right? That's all just you talking, right? Grant, I'm really sorry for all of this. Can you please forgive me?
My condolences. I was really looking forward to my brother's wedding today. It looked like it was going to be so much fun. But I told you, didn't I? I said that you were going to regret what you'd done. After that... And just like that, the police that Drew called for had arrived at the wedding hall. Not only did the wedding have to be cancelled, but there were police now asking everyone that saw the incident about the details. At this point, Camila was in a huge panic, and as she started to freak out, she tried to run away while still in her wedding dress, causing her to trip on it and land in the very fountain she pushed me into. However, after seeing what she'd done to me previously, no one came to save her from the deep pool. Well, however you decide to look at this whole story, we can all agree that this is exactly what she deserved. And that's probably why nobody cared that she sat there almost drowning while crawling out. Not even the parents came to come help her, nor the police, who were too busy getting ready to take her in. Actually, most of the people there began to record videos of her screaming and crying in that pool of water, before finally, an officer came over and helped her out. After that, she was taken away by the officers, and nobody really knows about what happened to her since. I bet she once thought everyone around her felt jealous about the life she had, but really, everyone must have felt sorry for how terrible of a person she was.